Started in the year of 2012, would be my freshman year of college, and I was going to be going to Martin Luther College, which is in New Ulm, Minnesota. And from that, it just wasn't for me after a few weeks, and decided to just go home and take some online classes for the first semester, and then go to another college the second semester. And my dad thought of us going out on an elk hunting trip to just be able to clear my mind a little bit and enjoy the nature, I guess.
We'd shot an elk, and we'd walked in for 4 miles at an elevation of 9,000 to 10,000 feet. And Brock was elected to go out and get the packs to haul the elk out.
And I was on my way back in to bring the packs to carry the meat out of the elk, and about a quarter of a mile away from my the elk and my family, I had an attack, and right at that time I thought it was a heart attack or a stroke. I didn't know what it was. The worst pain I have ever had in my life.
I actually thought that Brock was going to die. Thought he had a heart attack, and we thought maybe he had a stroke.
The whole left side of my body, from my face, my arms, my legs, went completely numb. And then I knew at that time I had to get to my dad because there's no cell phone coverage in that area, just very little. So I had to get to my dad, so I had to hike the rest of the quarter of the mile away to my dad. And when I got to my dad and my uncle and my cousin just thought it was just a normal thing, that I was just tired from hiking all the way. And then I began getting really sharp pains that would last about 30 seconds for every 2 minutes. And my dad actually got cell phone coverage and was about to call the emergency helicopter to come out and carry me out to the hospital. But we thought, most of us thought actually I was going to be dying out there. So my uncle said a prayer and I told my dad that I'd rather die out there than on a helicopter.
Brock had told my brother-in-law and I that he didn't want to be flown out in a helicopter. He said, I'd rather just die peacefully here. And it was kind of very emotional when all of a sudden he just stood up and said, we're getting out of here. And a 4-mile walk back out, going up a mountain and back down. Every minute and a half, 2 minutes, he'd have to sit down and go through these attack. There was a lot of things going through my mind. My youngest child of 5, and thought I was going to lose him in the mountains.
And then as the pain started to go away, we slowly hiked out, then drove 30 miles to a local hospital, and they had all the scans done. And out there they told us actually that it was Lyme's disease.
Hoping that it was Lyme's disease. And they told us that we should get home to our local doctor, and we just decided we had to come home.
And then we got a packet, and I didn't read the packet of papers that the hospital sent to me, and so then, or sent back with Brock, I should say. And I didn't read it, but I got him into the doctor the next day.
We went in the hospital and had scans done there too. And our doctor in Alexandria asked if we had ever looked at the forms that they sent with us to give to him. And we just didn't think much of it because we just thought it was Lyme's disease. And he's like, well, you should take a look at them. And so we opened them right there in front of him, and all over it was Hodgkin's lymphoma. And still we didn't know much of that, what that was. So the doctor explained to us that clearly it was Hodgkin's lymphoma. And they, with being as a young age as I was, they wanted to start doing treatments right away.
On a Monday, we were scheduled to start treatments, chemo treatments on Thursday, and that weekend before we started chemo treatments, we ran into a good friend of ours, and he said, your son has cancer, why are you not going to the Mayo Clinic? And I looked at Dan and I said, Brock has cancer? No one had ever used that word. It was always Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I guess I was in denial, and I know I was during that whole time.
We knew it was cancer, it's just that
but nobody had told me that. Nobody had used that word. And then once he did, then I didn't sleep that whole weekend. Monday morning I called our doctor and I said, we want Brock to be seen by the best. We want him to go to Mayo. Within 3 hours, he was scheduled to be seen with a doctor on Thursday morning, and we haven't regretted that decision ever.